All right. Well, we didn't get that massive $6,000 bounce, Justin. We're nowhere near 10.8. We're nowhere near 11,000. In fact, we're back down at the lows. What are we doing? Well, of course, the safest trade is to be in a short anyways. But is this really the second capitulation of the market? Are we plunging down from here? And what really is going on with Sushi Swap? Really, let's follow up on that yesterday. Welcome to today's episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Oh yeah, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bitcoin with your host, Justin Wise. I am the lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic afternoon on this very cold, it's cold here, I'm not going to lie, cold Tuesday afternoon. It is post-Labor Day. Life is back to normal as it can be in the post-COVID, or what do you say? So you got pre and you got post. What's current? Proto? It's not proto. In the existent COVID-19 atmosphere and era here in the United States and around the world. Shout out to everybody watching us on YouTube, Twitch D Live, Facebook Live, and of course on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. If you guys have questions, drop them in the live chat, smash the like, helps us get out there and overcome ye old shadow ban. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me do the preemptory socials. Boom, right there. You can follow us on Twitter, where I'm generally a little bit more active. And of course, Discord is the best place to talk to us. And then other things of that nature are pretty cool. Let me know how you guys are doing. Overall, just quick TLDR. Really nothing has changed from my positions. I posted up some interesting, I think, analysis on sushi last night to the premium members. And other than that, I haven't really changed anything. Yesterday, Alex and I did a deep dive into the Forex markets. And how do I put this? Listen, I try to be a very humble person, but I'm just very proud to see his growth as a trader and our continued growth as traders. And we absolutely nailed almost every pivotal turning point in the Forex market. So we're seeing the surgence of the dollar, which we of course talked about yesterday. And we're going to go into a little bit more in depth yesterday. And we've been talking about this for weeks, and if not months, to be quite honest with you, about potential reversal points of the dollar, looking at the Dixie and looking at other dollar indexes, particularly TVC. And, we got it. We nailed it. Just very similar to... Very similar to, a lot of analysts or traders. They'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna pick up this trade here. We're gonna buy Bitcoin here. We're gonna buy Ethereum here. There's a reversal point right here." And then as price gets there and gets there and gets there and gets there, and then finally you kind of get to that support level where you wanted to buy, and then all of a sudden you decide to short. Right now, look into your hearts and tell me that you don't know what I'm talking about, because I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. Right? We've all had a plan. And then we get to the area where we were supposed to execute our plan, and we do the exact opposite. It's one of the biggest, it's just one of the most common problems, right? And think back on any time you've had a loss or a problem in your life that you were like, "Oh God, what was I thinking, man? Like, why would I have done that?" It's never like a well thought out mistake, right? Like, for example, I might sit here and say, I'm going to long Bitcoin at 9,000. And then it takes a month to get there. And then I long Bitcoin at 9,000 and price goes to 8,000. Okay, I'm going to feel bad, I guess, because I had a losing trade, but I'm not going to beat myself up. I waited, I did what I was supposed to do, I executed my strategy, and I just happened to have an L. It's going to happen. But when you do that dummy where you're like, all right, I'm going to long at 9,000, and then price goes to 9,000, and then you short it, right? Because now you're scared. Well, inevitably, it almost always happens. You wake up the next day or the next day after that, and you're like, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?" And I talk to, a lot of my friends, even experienced traders, they still suffer from this. It happens, right? And to the degree to which you can eliminate those irrationalities from your life and from your trading, and ultimately from your life. Like, for example, think back on all the stupid things you've ever done. It's always just a irrational moment of insanity. Almost always. Never a well thought out mistake, right? So to the degree that you can eliminate those irrational moments of insanity in your life and your trading will definitely improve. So, let's get in. Today, we're going to be talking about sushi just a little bit. We're going to be talking about DeFi. We're going to be talking about potential investment opportunities or positional trades coming up in the market. And we're going to touch briefly on Bitcoin. The market's kind of boring today. Not a whole lot of TA to go over. I will still state my fundamental thesis. I'm long about 20% of my accounts, Bitcoin and Ethereum to the long side here on my Bybit account. And then overall, as far as my trading capital goes, 70% of my BTC equity is still hedged on Bybit, and I have used the USDT perpetual. Now let's talk about that for a little bit. So as price goes up, I think that the best opportunity for you guys, if you're not, is to get into a shorter scale into a short. Now, if we get back above 11,000, I'll start to feel a little bit more bullish, and I'll probably start scaling more aggressively into a long. But as we sit right now, I am expecting a more significant continuation of this correction to the downside. However, as I said yesterday, I'd like to see 2 to 4 days of bounce here. Now, we really haven't started to see that, but we're holding this level pretty good. So a short, if I were to tell you guys broadly, like, what's the trade you should be in? It's a short, all right? You can short here, you can short tomorrow, you can short high, you can short support, you can short anywhere you like. Because if you wait a few weeks, you're going to be in profit, okay? If you long here, you have to understand that the trend is currently to the downside, okay? You may disagree with me, and that's fine. I want you guys to make your own trading decisions, but my honest analysis of the markets, particularly Bitcoin, and of course that's the bellwether, it's going to drag everything with it, is that we have just experienced a market reversal, right? And this correction is going to continue. This isn't over. So the safe trade to be in is a short. Whether you shorted yesterday, whether you shorted at 10.2, 11.3, 9.8, it doesn't matter. Just hold your position. That's what I can safely recommend. If you long here, you have to understand that yes, price is most likely going to bounce here, but you're trading counter trend. And so you need to be tight. You need to be strategic. You need to be on it. You need to be efficient. You can't be making mistakes. Because if you just put on a long and leave it open, don't set a stop loss, don't have a take profit, you're going to have a bad time. Likely. So, Mr. Ether says, all the stupid things I ever did. Oh boy, that's going to be a long thought. Tell me, bro. So I think the safest thing to do is if you're trading on Bybit, what I would be doing here, and even if you're not on a leveraged exchange, right, is as price goes up, you can move your funds into USD Tether, right, or USDC, or DAI, or Pax Gold, whatever you want to do. Just move it into a stable coin. It's the safer thing to do, right? And then if you so desire, you can utilize that stable coin fund on most exchanges, Bybit, Binance Futures, Binance Margin, for example, Huobi, I do believe, FTX, certainly. And you can apply a short, right? So now you have more risk on in the market. So, all right, having said that, let's get to the charts. Let's break things down and let's do the roll call. So let's get going with today's Breaking Bitcoin. All right. Yes, their stop loss is our take profit. If only we were so lucky all the time. I'm going to have to look at the Forex trades because me and Alex really nailed these weekly reversal turning points. And now we're in such a good place. If you're in the premium group and you follow along with our Forex trades and you've diversified as we've recommended, we've got the Forex trades on. We're in the trends that are going to last for likely months. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, obviously the premium members, and most of you guys are, for the Q2, for like almost all of Q2 2020, we rode bullish Forex trends to the upside, mostly with the Aussie and the Kiwi, and trading against the dollar and the yen, because those were in massive declines. And so we just rode these massive, I don't know if you realize this, but a 3% trade on Forex is like a 3x in crypto, right? So we just rode these massive trends for months, killed it. And we're going to do the same thing now, because the dollar and the yen are on the rise. So it's really good to see that. It's really comfortable. It's a really comfortable position to be in. And unfortunately for you crypto-only traders, that's a situation that you're not going to be able to enjoy if you only trade crypto. It's a very nice feeling to know, like, wow, I am making so much money in Forex right now, and I am so well positioned that I can allow crypto to cool off. Let's say you're a long-only biased person in crypto, which historically is not a bad place to be. Okay, well, if you don't have another market to go to and keep busy in and make profit from, and you just have to sit here and watch price dip and dip and dip and dip, and the only thought in your mind is, where do I buy back in? It's not a good place to be. I really don't think it's a good place to be, because there's more going on than where do I buy back into Bitcoin, right? There's more going on out there, what's going on in Forex? Can I trade stocks right now? Stocks are uncorrelated. Can I get into bonds right now? Bonds are returning like decent yields. And I think people who ignore bonds are, look at where the smartest money's putting look at where some of the smartest funds are putting their money, and they're putting it into bonds. So to say that like there's no opportunity in bonds is ridiculous, right? Bonds are a massive part of how the economic machine works. One of the largest tradable assets out there. And it would behoove you to educate yourself. I'm not saying you have to trade bonds. It's not for everybody, but just to understand what they are and what they do, and you'll be smarter about what's going on in the world. Sorry if I'm coming off a little bit aggro. I didn't, I just bought this house and I was over there with the home inspector for like 2 hours today. I was coming up from the basement and just bashed my head on this beam and my neck is killing me. So if I'm coming off a little aggro, I apologize. You guys are absolutely amazing. Nomad Pie, Roy 2692, Taskaz Vlogs. Thank you guys so much for the subs over there on YouTube. Highly appreciated. And big shout out to all you guys watching on the tubes of you. Okay, so let's get into the big picture. We'll start off with daily. Actually, no, let's go to the weekly and just keep well in mind of where we're at. So here's the weekly. Here's weekly PTP. Here's the QQE mod system that we've been showcasing on stream. So interestingly enough, all of the weekly indicators here are going to be in a bullish trend. So PTP is actually here on the weekly telling you that you can have a long only perspective, which is fine, but keep in mind where our setups are. Do we have any initiations right now? No, we have the opposite of initiation. In fact, we see our long indicators starting to trend down. It's only going to take a couple of weeks for us to potentially be in a bearish weekly trend per QQE mod. And keep in mind, QQE mod is an insensitive system, so it's not going to be as responsive, but it's going to get you into the meat of the trade, not the head and tails, okay? Yeah, so we've got super trend down at 87.58. So there's a weekly reversal baseline bounce set up there, or we'd be looking for a reversal within the trend, which we're likely not going to catch on the weekly. Too slow, crypto moves too fast. We got to watch the daily, maybe the 4 hour, right? So let's go there to see what we got going on. On the weekly here, what do I really need to see bullish? Well, I need to see price back up into this breakdown area, right? If price begins to move up here, I'm going to look at that as retesting previous support as resistance and just a correction that one should short. But if we start pushing up above really 11,100 is the magic number in my head. If we're closing the weekly or the daily above that number, well, then you need to buy the next pullback, all right? You need to probably buy into the breakout, and you also need to buy on the next dip is what you want to do to position yourself. Well, I don't see that yet. I am expecting a bounce upwards, perhaps a 30 to 50% retracement of this move to the downside, but the market might not be kind enough to give us that. It's just the tradable bounce that I'm looking at. All right. Let's look at my ISA spot setup. All right, again, TD Sequential is saying we are currently on a 2 of 9. We almost never get a color flip on the weekly without follow through. It's very rare, okay? Even in consolidation periods here, what do we see? We see a little bit of flipping, but we get 1, 2, 3, 4 count to the downside, down to the red, and then finally we flip on a green one that has follow through. We get to the 6 of 9, and 6 and 7 is often where we can get a count interrupted. So I would expect, just based on this, to see at least 4 more weeks of downside, maybe 5, and then we'll talk about where that's going to come out. I'm not a price targets guy, but around 8,000, 8,600 seems logical to me. Maybe even 7,000. Listen, there's some guys out there calling for 5 or 6, and I don't think that they're crazy. I don't want to scare you guys or shock anybody. I'm just saying, price targets are not super helpful when we're just trying to ride the trend. The trend is currently to the downside, so play that. ISA spot again on the weekly calling for the reversal over here 2 weeks ago, which was just a beautiful sell side signal. Beautiful sell side signal. Let's go down to daily and see what daily PTP is telling us to do. Of course, daily PTP has us in a bearish trend, has ever since we broke the super trend here on the daily. We also got bearish initiation from QQE mod. Actually, bearish initiation, excuse me, that's not true. Because we're not crossing underneath the QQE line. We got that on the next day where we actually put the red volume bar underneath the QQE line, and that was on a pullback. So if you would have been listening to this PTP system, you'd have been short from right here. And although certainly not the best entry, you didn't get the big move, you're looking for the big move breakdown from here. So certainly an entry right here on this daily close, a short from 10.4, sitting pretty well right now. OBV oscillator is in the negative, MACD leader is in the negative, IFT RSI is in the negative. So all bearish signs there on the daily. So just pretty much any insensitive PTP structure is going to have you in a short. And again, we had a huge red vol candle there. This candle right here that chunked us down to our current level of support. Again, an entry on that candle, not good. Of course, we were overextended from any baseline. But again, buying kind of that first little bit of correction, or excuse me, selling into that first little correction, not a bad idea. Remember, when you get a big red volume bar, you often get a little bit of a bounce back. It's kind of like if you throw a super ball at the ground, it doesn't just squish, it bounces back, right? But if you just drop it, it just bounces just a little bit. You know what I mean? So this is how the markets work. Where's the back the truck up price right now? Always anything, to be quite honest with you, depends on what time frame we're talking about. If you're talking about like, where should I back the truck up to buy for like to infinity and beyond, like 5-10 years, anything under 10,000, anything under 20,000, if you want my honest opinion, just buy it. Buy Bitcoin, put it in your portfolio, stick it on a ledger, don't touch it. Wait 5 years. You're going to be wealthy. I don't want to say you're going to be wealthy, but you will be better off, is my honest opinion. And this is why I don't sell my Bitcoin. I've held Bitcoin since 2016. I've never sold it. You know, call me crazy, but it's worked out. Just got to have patience. But more realistically, what's the back to truck up price? Anything under 8 or 7, I think is a damn good price to get into Bitcoin, right? And if we dip to 5 or 6, buy more, right? Just back the truck up. You can back it up slowly, you know, like beep, beep, beep. Like say every $1,000 we go down, you know, you just add more beeps, like beep, 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 beep. Oh, I love my job. All right. Yeah, you will be more wealthy. There we go. Thank you, Alex. So that's BTP on the daily. Let's go to things like ISISpot. What are we getting on the current daily candle? We're getting a buy side signal from ISISpot. All right, ISISpot is my optimized reversal indicator, giving a buy side signal right here. I bet time transformation is kind of going wild right here. We started off with 3 consecutive bottom feeder signals, which is our proprietary bottom nibbling algorithm, and that is calling for a price of 10.7. Now, I like that 10.7, 10.8. I really do like that on this bounce, and I think we're going to see that. Invalidation for this particular area is it just is what it is. It's the stop loss, guys. It's either a winning trade or it's not. I'm already short 70%. If I don't catch this bounce to the upside and get to rehedge the other 30%, take the profit on this long and then hedge those profits, well, then I've just not made as much money as I wanted to. But you need to have some form of hedge exposure, whether that's in the form of a short or whether that's in moving into stable coins or whether that's buying some uncorrelated assets. I honestly recommend you guys trade Forex and get long on the dollar and the yen. It's probably the best way to do that because that's the main thing that we're doing. But yeah, you gotta take some risk off of crypto. Pre-wealth, peri-wealth, and post-wealth. So it is. So it's peri. Peri seems like not antecedent, but beside. You know what I mean? Like peri. You know, like peripheral, peripheral to the side of. Para-COVID. Oh, that's my new username on League of Legends. Para-COVID. Oh, dude, I've never played League of Legends in my life. Yeah, and of course, CM Laguerre PPO is putting in some bottoming signals here as well. That's about it. So bottom feeder, ISISpot, CM Laguerre. I mean, what more do you want? This is a good bounce area. Yeah, see, adjacent, that's the same thing as peri, right? I feel like you guys are right. Like that certainly seems to be the best fit word, but it doesn't feel like the right word, like current. Pre, post, in this moment. And I'm not talking about Maria Brink. Lovely gal. All right. Let's having such a good day. Hopefully you guys are having a good one too. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We haven't done the shout out. What's going on, guys? We've got Saintsy in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. S180XT. Nice hash Logan. Good to see you here talking about the Bill Gates vaccine caused polio outbreak. You know, we were talking about this in the the video just got instantly demonetized because I said the words Bill Gates outbreak and vaccine in the same sentence on a live stream. You're done. We were talking about this in staff chat before the show, and I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get into that too much. I have some thoughts on that, but we'll talk about that later. Midwest Attempts, as always, good to see you. Blue box territory, holding down the territories of the boxes that are blue. Simon Olson, Yorick. We've got Ron Legato, good friend of the channel. Hello, my friend. Jonah Love the Snow. I feel like I say that wrong. I feel like I'm the butt of the joke when I say it like that. Like maybe it's like, you wanna, like that joke, like from Austin Powers, like Ivana. You guys know how it ends. Moving on. Nigao Mihai, good to see you. We've got the usual suspect. B. Kempster from Canada, it seems. We've got Mr. Unicorn. Good to see you, my brother. And Yorick holding down the channel as YouTube members. Thank you guys so much for the contributions and support. Forex Meister, Bitcoin, please go to Moon. We're going to get there. I need to pull up I have some good memes, some tasty memes I'd like to share on this channel. If you guys haven't checked out our Meme Wars channel, oh boy. Epistemic Crisis, Mr. Alex, as always, Senior Analyst Alexander. And CNMT says gains gone. What was it? Hexagon, Polygon, something, and then September gains are gone. Yeah, or August gains are gone. Somebody said sound. Something wrong with my sound? Oh, like you are sound. All right. No, Forex Meister and Saintsy saying pre, post, and parry. Okay, all right. Even Alex saying parry. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me, and maybe that's because I'm inefficient in my mental capacities. We've got Caprico, we've got Devin Salmond, Philly from Manchester holding it down, Jordan Stotts, Zach, who is in a coma. I hope not hard to trade when you're horizontal. Mr. Ether, Blockchain, and I think I got everybody. If I miss, and Cat Futures holding it down. What's going on? RK, Victor, and if I'm 0x167 smart contract. Good to see you, my friend. If I missed anybody, it's not because I don't love you. It's just because there's a bright light, and then it's like dark mode, and then the YouTube chat. It's like, yeah, you get it. Maybe if you saw things from my perspective. All right. So we talked about the daily, we talked about the weekly already, and it's only 12:30. It's time to get crunching here. Let's crunch. Let's look at the roadmap chart. We haven't looked at this for a little bit. We are back in that I don't know what you call it, devil's triangle, and I don't mean the fun one. The fork, the channel that connects the weekly highs that goes all the way back to 2017, marking the top of the 2019 bull run, and then obviously the area that we broke through just recently. We are maybe potentially just pulling back and back testing that area. I know Ivan on Tech talked about this. I know that other individuals have talked about this, and that's certainly a logical technical setup. But again, remember, support and resistance are not a thing until they are, right? You have to see a reaction from that level, right? Got to see a reaction from that level. So just the fact that there is this line there that has historical significance doesn't mean anything. You need to see capital step in. And unfortunately, what we've seen capital do is sell the hell out of Bitcoin. Right? So this is the first weekly bearish engulfing candle. It's a big red candle. Big red candles only happen when people stop buying and start selling. And large investors don't just sell for no reason. They sell because they feel this is the market top or local top. So again, we could V-bottom out of this, continue right along. Nothing would make me happier. I don't sell my Bitcoin, remember, and all that. But I think that the smartest, safest trade is currently what I'm doing, which is to protect myself via shorting. Crypto market capitalization. Let's take a look. This is excluding BTC. So this is going to be the altcoin sector, including the stablecoin sector. And the stablecoin edition there makes this a little tenuous. So let's actually go look at fundamentals. So let's look at the entire crypto market cap. And again, here we do see that big weekly chunk on an 8 of 9. What would PTP have us do? In QQE mod we trust. Still a bullish trend, but again, no initiation. Not telling you to be out of the market so far. Even IFTRSI would have told you to be in here. The weekly super trend is often a difficult to deal with here. Not difficult to deal with, but this is why we don't take weekly trades. This is why we take daily trades. So let's go see what the daily has for us. Yeah, the daily had us out of this quite a while ago. The daily had us out over here. And the daily had us out essentially of the cryptocurrency markets back on the 21st of August, which is pretty beautiful. Not gonna lie. Very similar for altcoinities. Not as great, but August 21st, same day. Yeah, and then of course we had that, that sneak high, that liquidity raid, and then push back down. BLX index, okay. Futures, of course, we got the CME gap. Here is, wow, dude, this is just great. Hold on, let's look at this. I haven't looked at my CME chart here in a while. So if you guys will recall, this is these pretty lines that we drew up here. I mean, pretty much nailed it. Red box territory was the take profit zone out of the symmetrical and or ascending triangle, broke to the upside. Very beautiful, very clean price action, and then a very nice return and touch. Of course, we still got the gap down here. I would argue that it looks like we've hit that to a degree on the CMEs as of today's daily candle. So we have filled that, not all the way to fill this gap, which would be down to about 96.95. But hey, maybe we can take that, and maybe we are going to bounce from here. Again, what I'd like to see, at least what the CME chart would imply, is that we need to see a daily close back above, where are we at here? 10.5. Daily close back above 10.5 would be some, at least on the CME chart, some good initiation. So this isn't really a chart that I follow too much. We have toyed around with the idea of charting specifically on the CME chart. Maybe it would avoid some fake out, but we're quite happy with what we do with regards to the spot chart. And so not a lot of thoughts. I know a lot of people just want to point at this chart and talk about this chart, but only, let's be real, guys. You only ever hear people talk about the CME charts when there's a gap to fill. So let's just use it for what it is and move along with our lives. Yeah, we have gaps above and below us. Humberto Oliveira says, is Chainlink a good investment? I certainly don't think so at these prices. Yeah, I mean, I don't hold Chainlink, and no disrespect to the Link Marines out there, but yeah, I mean, Chainlink's been one of the better performing assets of 2020. So one school of investment would say buy into strength, right? And I like that idea, but I think we're pulling over. I think we're turning over in the crypto markets right now. I think we're gonna have another 8 weeks of consolidation and correction. So if you want to grab Chainlink, it's probably going to do pretty well moving forward, but it depends on what your goals are, right? Like I like holding Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're very stable and they appreciate quite nicely. If you're looking for Chainlink because you want those big Chainlink gains, well, you're not going to get it from Chainlink, right? Just like you're not going to get it from Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is going to 10x, maybe, 20x from here over the next 10, 20 years, but it's not going to 1000x likely, What has that potential to put in those Chainlink gains? Remember, Chainlink held its ICO in December of 2017, where I do believe they sold tokens for like a penny. I think a penny. I might be wrong about that, but I know they held their ICO in 2017. So Link, along with all those other ICOs of 2017, early 2018, Dragon, right? I bought the Dragon. I bought into Dragon. That was a stinker. Polyswarm was an ICO that I invested in. That one's actually done pretty well lately. I was able to get out of that with some decent profit. And I still have quite a bit of Nectar, which is the Polyswarm token. There was a music one, ICO that I invested in. I've got a huge list of ICOs that I've invested in, but and some have done well and some have done terrible. Wax was a pretty good one. Wanchain. Wanchain did very, very well. It was pre-sale that I got into. So, yeah, you're not going to get those explosive gains out of Chainlink because Chainlink already has a 4.8. It was 5 billion, I think, closer to the peak, maybe even $6 billion market cap. You're not going to take a $5 billion market cap and 10x that, right? Quickly. Chainlink might be a good performer, right? But if you're looking for those big explosive gains, you're going to have to look at, smaller cap things that have the ability to grow as big as that. So I'd say a 5 billion market capitalization is like obviously a high shooting target. 1 to 2 would be like, oh, this thing's done pretty well in crypto currently with what we got going on. So if you find something that's at like a sub $10 million market cap, sub $50 million market cap, that thing has the ability to, 100x. Not too bad. I think most people want to go and steer into the sub $1 million market cap where they're looking for that 1000x, right? And that's cool, but that's very risky, right? Because most of those projects are vaporware. So, invest smartly, invest wisely, and risk what you can afford to lose. Vibe. No. It wasn't Vibe. It wasn't Vibe. It was, No, it was, like, they kind of, like, rug pulled. It was, no, I've traded Vibe, and I've traded Viberate, too. God, I have to pull it up. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was late 2017, and it's just one of the ones that I got into. I was lucky enough to get into quite a few good ICOs back in 2017, 2018. But then obviously as 2018 wore on, I probably lost like $30,000 at least in 2018 investing in ICOs because they just went to zero. But, I made quite more than that in 2017 and early 2018 with the ones that did quite well. And then honestly, some of those I've had to hold, right? I didn't buy the Link ICO, but Polyswarm I bought. Blockstack. I bought Blockstack's pre-sale, right? Another one that actually hasn't done their token launch yet is INDX, right? So, like Polyswarm and a Blockstack, right? Like when they first launched, I was down for a long time. Now I was lucky enough to add pretty heavily to my Blockstack position. So even without doing that, though, we went back above the pre-sale price and we did pretty well. But yeah, anyways. Okay, let's look at current price action. Here on the 4-hour chart, as I went to bed last night, the last candle that I looked at with my friend Jonathan was here on the was here on the 4 hour. And we were I had already told him I'd been going long. We were just contemplating, and I kind of like this breakout move, and then I like this pullback. I'm like, we're breaking out and just pulling back to retest, right? I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit wrong about that last night. We did end up getting a big sell side candle down back here to support, and a little weak bounce to the upside, right? So again, this kind of looks like, what this looks like? This looks like these three candles look like these three candles in reverse. All right. So I would like to see some bullish continuation of this. This doesn't invalidate why I wanted to buy this bottom. It's not the greatest thing that I would want to see, but there's just nothing to do, man. It's just kind of a boring weekday in the marketplace. We'll see what Wednesday and Thursday brings us. I still like to see price push up here to 10.5, 10.8, and then I'm going to be rehedging, reshorting, adding to my hedge short. And then if price continues to push up above that, I'm sorry, there's like some crud in my mouse and I'm OCD. And if price continues to push up higher than that, then I'll be pulling off my hedge and probably going pretty hard long. Challenged investor says, could Adam Kyber Network and Omisa go 30x? Let's look at that here in a little bit. S180XT. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was music. Yeah, I think it was Music Coin. Yeah, I think it was music, right? I remember when they launched, they had like the little clef note, right? Was the little ticker symbol. And it had like a purple website. And you went to the website and I registered for the pre-sale and was like, no, of course I'm not an American. And sent them ETH. And I don't even think they sent me tokens. I think that was a straight rug pull, the way I recall it, right? And certainly, like, if you guys think that, because I'm a successful crypto investor, like I haven't had my share of stinkers, like you are far incorrect. I mean, I've been rug pulled on. I've bought crap that wasn't real. I've invested in vaporware like this, it's again, like the fundamental concepts that we teach with trading are true with, let's say more discretionary plays or fundamental analysis plays. Like you have to ensure that your maximum downside spread out across all the action that you have in the market is not crippling, right? You have to take risk or there's no reward, but you have to, like, you can't, if you have $30,000, you cannot go all in on a pre-sale. You cannot go all in on ICO, regardless of how tantalizing and juicy the reward might be, regardless of all these BS stories that you hear from people that are like, yeah, man, I just went all in on Tesla options, bro, and I made $1 million. That's great. There is a 99% chance that that is never going to and will never happen to you. There is a 99% chance that you're going to be like everybody else, every other schmuck who tries that, and you get bankrupt. And I don't like getting margin called. So yeah, you can be speculative, you can throw money into DeFi, you can do all this, but you have to position size. You have to do it wisely. You have to do your thing. Now, as to challenged investors' question though, I feel Albus Regnum's answer. I don't know if they will 30x. But we could look at the mathematics, like, is it likely that they'll 30x? And to do that, here's what I like to do. And I was showing you guys this yesterday. Let's go to cryptorank.io. All right, cryptorank.io is pretty good for these kind of plays. So let's go look at Omisa Go. All right. Personally, I really like Omisa Go. So let's look at Omisa Go's market capitalization. It's $505 million. It is a ERC20 token. I do not believe that OMG, I think that OMG has their own mainnet, right? I should know this and I apologize, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's go to let's see if they're Block Explorer. Yeah, they're on Etherscan. So it's still an ERC20 address. I don't think they've actually launched their mainnet. So yeah, the fully diluted market capitalization is 503 million. So they've got the supply circulating. The total supply is out there. I'm not exactly sure what Omisa Go's inflation rate is, but I do like Omisa Go, not from obviously the token economics, not the token economics or the nature of the blockchain, which clearly I have more research to do. But I like the partnerships that I've made. I like the things that I've heard come out of them as far as their marketing. I like what I see with their community. I try to keep a pretty close eye on these things. So Omisa Go is not one that I've done a deep dive into as far as the technicals, but I hold Omisa Go. I have some Omisa Go. And it's been a good performer. Omisa Go, especially in the latter half of 2020, really kind of turned the gas on, as you guys can see, just really kind of blusted up there. And Omisa Go is an old coin too. Like we can go back, we haven't quite cracked the peaks of 2018, which I don't think is necessarily relevant because this was a cycle and this is a different cycle. But anyways, so Omisa Go, financial services, rank number 36. I think it's going to be, If the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization 10x's, then yes, right? But as far as what can we compare Omisego's network to, it seems like it seems that Omisego, from what I know that they're trying to do, they're trying to be a network of financial services, right? So like Compound is a network of financial services. It's an infrastructure to do lending and decentralized borrowing. Chainlink is an Oracle service, even though all oracles use CoinGecko's price feed. Moving on. You didn't hear that from me. The reality is, like, what can we compare Omisego to? What has a market capitalization and what higher than Omisego, and what niche do they fill? So I would say that Omisego is basically trying to be something like, I don't know, let's call it Cello, right? Cello is, Coinbase's darling that just recently launched that I'm actually kind of bullish on. Actually pretty bullish on, I'm not going to lie. And, Cello is trying to be an infrastructure for all of these kind of like DeFi services, let's say, or just financial services. Obviously, I don't think we compare OMG to Ripple. I don't think we can compare OMG to EOS. I don't think we can compare OMG to Ethereum. I don't think we can compare OMG to, help me out here, guys. Like, what is, what would you say is a cryptocurrency project that is attempting to be a infrastructure for financial services, right? Like it's kind of like Uniswap, but more than Uniswap. It's kind of like Coinbase, but more than Coinbase. It's kind of like Deribit, but more than Deribit. It's like a hub. Well, let's go look at CoinGecko, and let's see if we can think of one. Polkadot's an Ethereum killer. BNB, no. Crypto.com, I would say maybe Crow. I would say Crypto.com is really trying to change the game with being that kind of one-stop shop for everything you need. If you guys don't have the CRO app on your phone, see, and they're a blockchain. Yep, saying Crow. Yeah, so I think maybe Crow is probably the top performer. So let's look at Crow. What's their market capitalization? Okay. Market capitalization of CRO is almost 3 billion. Okay. So we go back over to Omisego, 505 million. All right. I'm not a mathematician, so excuse me while I pull out a calculator. Some of the audience will be good at this, but I'm not. Sorry, I use calculators. So let's do 3 billion divided by 505 million. All right. So that's a 6x. All right, so Omisego could logically, from here, if it were to get as big as CRO, which, by the way, let me be very clear about this, CRO has launched its own blockchain. CRO has its own mobile app. CRO has its own set of financial products and services. I don't really know, or actually I do know, that OMG hasn't done almost any of those things. But Omisego is very, very popular over in Asia, so don't discount it, right? So it's possible that more development is happening than is really going on over here. You guys, Elrond, Aragon, Harmony. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Those are certainly similar, but Omisego is larger than those. So we're kind of looking. What I'm trying to do here with the mathematics is see if Omisego was to get as big as its best competitor, what amount of X would your investment do, right? So again, the math here is pretty simple. So 500 million to 3 billion is a 6x. So that means for every dollar potentially that you invest in OMG, I'd say kind of the easiest, the biggest, or the realistic gain that you could expect, just if it performed as well as its top competitor, would be a 6x, right? So definitely room in there to grow. But if this thing had a $50 million market cap, then it would be a 60x. You see what I'm saying? So you can see how that's just some simple math, and you can agree with my process or not, but it's certainly not perfect, but it's just something that you can do quick, fast, and in a hurry to, in your mind, think like, okay, what's the risk to reward of this, right? Then we can also look here. CryptoRank tells us how far are we, and CoinGecko does as well. So let's go to Omisego on CoinGecko, and let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So Omisego is 85.9% away from its all-time high. And it is 927.6% off of its all-time low. So obviously your max downside for any investment is always 100%, right? But you can utilize that to qualify and couch what is the risk to reward of this trade. A potential 100% loss, which I wouldn't even say that. I mean, coins don't go to zero. There are zombie coins that exist from like 2016 that still trade at like a penny, you know? So it's like it went down 99% or 95% or 90%, but coins typically don't go to zero because bots arbitrage them back and forth. So yeah, so just some simple math in your head that you can do to kind of look at, okay, well, what is the X potential of this investment, right? So Amisago could do a 6X. It's already pretty big, number 36 on the market cap list. You know, I don't see a huge amount of attractive opportunity there, but it's strong, right? It's strong. It's something that you could put in a more conservative portfolio. But if you're like me, well, again, I'm more conservative, so this might be silly to you guys, but I really only invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum because I know that they're good. I understand them. I've studied them. I like them. I hold some other things, like I have some EOS. God bless me, I do have some XRP, even though I hate it. But they're relatively small positions, right? And most of them I've gotten, you know, by hook or by crook or from trophy hunting, right? So trophy hunting is where I've traded EOS like just hundreds of times over the last years. And every time I take a trade, I don't sell at all. Like I sell 99% of my position, right? So I'll take that 1% and I'll just toss it, you know, into, you know, I'll wait. I'll toss it on the exchange. I'll keep it on the exchange, you know, and then when that gets large enough to justify transferring it out, I toss it to the ledger. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how you build up through trophy hunting a portfolio over time. Eddie Fulton saying, for high quality OMG breadcrumbs, check out Kumu, a VBNS. I am going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to, I don't know how to, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to hide a, I don't know how to hide a message. Again, no disrespect, but when somebody drops a link, I'm not going to click it. I'm going to have my homies vet that for me, just in case. ETH is doomed, no max supply. I don't necessarily think that means it's doomed. The dollar's been used for a whole long time, and it doesn't have no max supply. Every fiat currency doesn't have any max supply. Ethereum is designed to do something else. I don't think Ethereum is going to be the world's unit of currency, but I can certainly see how it can be the world's VM, which is always what Ethereum has claimed it wants to do. And, you know, if you don't think that probably the smartest people in cryptocurrency are right now actively developing on the Ethereum network, I mean, they are. So huge, very, very, very bullish, very, very, very excited on, very, very excited for Ethereum. Now, I will agree with you that I think Ethereum, that is a weakness of Ethereum relative to Bitcoin, for example. Like what makes Bitcoin extremely valuable, in my opinion, is its fixed supply. So that's very attractive to me. But Ethereum, I think, is going to do something different. And I think Ethereum, if we look at the financial services market capitalization, very similar to the thought experiment, the mathematical experiment that we just did, kind of comparing market caps, I think Ethereum could grow to easily a $5 trillion market capitalization. You know, if Ethereum is running the derivatives markets. Like imagine that, for example. Imagine a world, okay? So let's take, okay, so the derivatives market capitalization, right, of all derivative financial products that exist is 8 times larger than the spot market, okay? That means that 8 times more theoretical money exists in derivatives than it does in spot currencies. So Bitcoin is spot currency and Ethereum is the derivatives marketplace. So there is actually a potential, and whether it's Ethereum or whether it's EOS or whether it's BSV or whether it's, which it won't be, but it may be, I don't know, whatever. Whichever Ethereum killer or, like runs all this, there's potential for whatever runs the derivatives markets to be 8 times larger in market capitalization or in money that flows through the system than Bitcoin. Now, of course, we can build second layers on Bitcoin. We can do a whole lot of things on Bitcoin, and you know, it's a good concept. It's actually my belief that what's most likely to happen is that we'll get almost all of this running on Bitcoin eventually. But I'm not going to discount Ethereum. That's why I hold both. All right. Link has been vetted. Sorry, I'm slow. Kumu, the Kumu tree. Ooh, wow, this is cool. Wow, man. If you feel the urge to send a tip / shitcoin. Oh, dude, that's cool. Wow, this is cool, man. They do this for anything besides Amisago? Or just Amisago? Yeah, as my friend Ben said, like the amount to verify the veracity of this network is non-trivial. This is cool, man. This is super cool. All right, it's 12:55. We talked about a whole lot. Sorry, guys. We've talked about it's gonna take that's a bit, man. I'm gonna bookmark that. That's going on my that's not get to, no offense, but that's gonna go in. I will just put it in get to for right now. All right. Thank you for sharing that with me, man. I'm gonna check that out. All right, so take a brief break. I'm going to top up my coffee. I'm going to invite you guys to smash up the like because it does help us get us out there and overcome the old shadow ban. I am going to look at what Jack has put on the sheet as far as things that we need to talk about. And we're going to talk about sushi. We're going to talk about sentiment. We're going to take some chart requests. And we're going to talk about what the heck does this mean. And then we'll get to your Q&A. In the meantime, again, smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already. It does support the channel and lets us get out there and gets like cool new questions in the chat, right? The more people, and obviously helps us overcome the shadow ban and helps us make good new content like this. You guys know the spiel. But also, we are going to go ahead and, in the interest of the channel and of the community, do some affiliation here. So we're going to run an advertisement for Bybit. It is an affiliate link. If you click on it at no cost to yourself, the team will get a portion of your transaction fees, but you also get a nice $90 bonus. Your own decision, trade where you like. I recommend Bybit. I don't recommend products and services that I do not use myself, and I trade quite a lot of capital on Bybit. Best leverage exchange out there, in my opinion. FTX has its pretty parts too, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, we're gonna hear from them. We're gonna have a Bitcoin weather report from junior analyst Jason, and we'll be back for your questions and all of the things that we do. Shout out to Wook Chewy. What's going on, my friend? All right, don't go anywhere. Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change.
For today, we got a little bit of high, we got a little bit of low, but I'm gonna stay out of this riffraff for now. But I'll get back to you when it's a better time. Right now, it's not doing it for me. Back to you.
All right, and we are back. Thank you guys so much for holding through the break. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more structured, do a little bit more stuff, talk about some topics right here. Yeah, that was you know, just we're running out of weather reports, my brother. Just tossing them in there. All right, shout out to all 100 and that thing says 128. This thing says like 154. But shout out to all you guys watching on the tube of you, on the Twitch, on the D Live. Big shout outs to all you guys. You know what we haven't done in a while? Let me see if I'm logged in over here. Yeah, over here on D Live. Let's do it. Webster Games Music. Thank you for the follow over there on D Live. I got to get alerts and reports for those things. Let's toss some lemons here in this basket. Yeah, let's do that. And we will distribute those rewards here in a little bit. So make sure you guys remind me to do that. Keep me honest. Okay. Now, number one in the news. Come on. There we go. 6 monitors. Hard to get these things up here sometimes. So in the news today, breaking. Korean exchange bithumb, you guys are sure aware of this. They've been raided like 3 times over the last few weeks. So the South Korean police have raided the bithumb currency exchange again to get some more search and seizures. Perhaps they left some Ripple unturned, right? Now, the first raid took place apparently on the 2nd of September, about a week ago. And they were, so that raid seems to have been connected to seizing evidence for fraud allegations. And specifically, apparently they did some sort of ICO or IEO that was a rug pull of some sort. Now, this raid was done at the actual bithumb Holdings head office, unlike the other office, which was, I don't know, I guess just for the automated market makers or something like that. Now, this head office actually runs their exchange bithumb. Now, an official from the Seoul Metro Police that raided the office said that the operations were done to secure additional evidence related to the crypto exchange's fraud allegations raised earlier. Now, in fact, the police there in Korea are also investigating the owner of bithumb, Lee Young-hoon. He's the chairman of the board of directors of bithumb Holdings and bithumb Korea, on charges of fraud and on grounds of other economic crimes. Now, listen. Cryptocurrency centralized exchange CEO doing shady things. It's kind of like almost like isolated margin trading for sushi was enabled on Binance 10 minutes before Chef Nomi made the announcement that he was rug pulling. Sure, there's not a connection. I'm sure these centralized exchange individuals are just as crystal clean and whistle white as you could possibly want them to be. All right. Come on, guys. Where does all the corruption take place? Where all the frickin' money is. What's that? What's that? Is that, I think it's Batman, the second one, the second Christopher, well, the third, I guess, Christopher Nolan Batman with Bane, where, Bane busts into the stock exchange and they're like, there's no money here. And he's like, well, why are you guys all here then? Yeah. So, next, eToro is launching a UBI initiative. Now, big shout out to eToro. They certainly know how to throw a party. But eToro recently announced the launch of what they're calling Good Dollar. Good Dollar, which makes me think of Good Burger. Home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please? Now, Good Dollar is an NPO. It's a nonprofit initiative that is going to leverage decentralized finance, DeFi, as a means to offer a digital basic income to its users. So, go sign up for your eToro welfare, everybody. I mean, why not? Heck yeah. Andrew Yang would love this new token project, but can it succeed? I'm not as ANCAP as we could possibly be on the concept of UBI, because technological unemployment is a thing. Very similar to some other people in the space, I think that if we get to a place where there is literally not enough gainful employment for individuals, UBI begins to make sense. There's ways to do that are less tyrannical. But currently, I think that focusing on UBI is not the correct solution because we're putting the cart in front of the horse. There's a lot of other things that we're doing that are just inefficient and wrong. that if we fix those things, then we're going to have a better top-down view of, okay, do we really need to do UBI? If we do, let's fucking do it. If we don't, well, then don't take my money. Kind of thought, right? Again, not want to get into this, but this is pretty cool. Look into this if you want to. I just wanted to read the headline. Let's see. DAI is going to be the first asset supported in good dollars monetary reserve, and Compound is going to be the platform's first integrated protocol. Interestingly enough, it's yeah, of course, 71% of Europeans support UBI in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, guys, statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics. All right. So pretty interesting. It'll be pretty cool to see how that ends up evolving and unfolding. Not a bad idea, I think. You know, take a little bit of interest that's being generated by decentralized finance and then toss that as the funds for UBI. It's not like it's less tyrannical than reaching into your pocket and taking your money. It's like, hey, you're making this money off the top. We're just going to skim a little bit. And instead of skimming it and putting it in our pocket, which is what traditional finance does, we're going to skim it off the top and then we're going to redistribute it out. You know, I think I could get behind something like that. And of course, Ethereum miners are knocking it down. Miners on the Ethereum network generated over $285 million in revenue this August. And that is a month-over-month increase of 98.2% over last month and a 25-month high, according to research here from BTC Manager and The Block. This is The Block's original research on this. Over 40% of Ethereum mining revenue in August came from fees. Keep in mind, guys, you know, I bought some coins on Uniswap last night. Nothing major, just a couple Ethereum, small position. And I was ecstatic that I paid a $3 transaction fee. I have been slamming through $30 and $50 transaction fees the last 2 months. Jesus. So that was pretty cool to see. The network has really come down. Network's really, really, really come down. But just keep in mind, it is, of course, in Ethereum miners' interests, not only to take all of your potential Ethereum, but to keep fees as high as humanly possible. So pretty cool. But it's cool to see that fees have come down. And let's go check with ETH Gas Tracker. I'll just go to ETH Gas Station. Gas Tracker, I think, is a better website. But yeah, GUI's gone up just a little bit. So it was like 70 last night. It's back up to 119 right now for standard. So it popped up a little bit. No comment. All right, so let's take a moment and talk about something that I have to talk about, which is the Forex trades that Alex and I recommended to our premium members yesterday. So first off, I don't yet want to showcase. I'm not going to flash the sheet. I do think that that's in the best interest of the premium members to grab. But we're just going to go ahead and throw on and look at the weekly turns that we nailed. So the Canadian Swissy was a good position that Alex put on via discretion. It did hit. I think we're back at, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to lie. The Canadian Swissy is now in drawdown for us. Yeah, so the Canadian Swissy, the only Forex position we have open that's not doing amazing. Okay, let's just move on from that. But let's talk about what we recommended. The euro dollar short just absolutely crushed this. We're up already over, I don't know if you guys know this, but 1% in Forex is like a 10x in cryptocurrency. Just getting those numbers, just getting the comprehension of these movements here. There, USD, we're up about 0.25% so far. But this is the turn. This is the turn that we've been waiting for. And the euro dollar is not going to move as quickly, as swiftly as the others. But let's just look. Weekly, perfect 9 on the TD, DeMark reversal point, CM Laguerre, ISIS bot sell signal. This is a great turning point in the market to take the euro dollar down. The dollar, we look at the currency strength index, the dollar and the yen have been so weak, bearish trend over the last really 6 months, and they're turning around. So let's look at the big daddy that we took. Got into this trade yesterday and just blasted right out of the socks for us. The pound yen. I mean, this is beautiful. We took this at daily close yesterday. And we got all of this. This is just beautiful, man. It's a beautiful trade. And we went big on these. I'm not going to lie. We recommended 3% risk to the members. I know Alex and I did about 5% risk per trade on these because these are big weekly in-depth analysis trades that we've done. We've been looking at these for quite a while, catching these turns. The pound dollar, same thing. Perfected 9, ISIS spot sell signal, seeing Liquare in the red, and now finally getting that DeMark reversal point right now. So anything, the pound and the Aussie are weak. Their trends are turning around. The Aussie, maybe not as weak as the pound, but certainly the euro is relatively stable. The euro could go either way here, but the pound, the Kiwi, those are turning around from their positions of strength. The yen and the dollar pushing to the upside. The Swissy weak. Swissy actually weak, which is interesting because you typically put the Swissy in the same basket with the dollar and the yen. And the Canadian dollar strong. Canadian dollar strong, which is very interesting. It's very interesting because oil is down. And you normally see the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar do very well when oil does well because they're very commodity dependent countries, commodity export dependent countries. They're net export dependent countries. So it's just interesting to see. So it really is an interesting flight to safety. It's very, very interesting to see what's going on in the Forex markets right now. The dollar Swissy is a strong long, on the other hand. The dollar against the Swissy. So therefore, and the dollar Canadian, this was a side play. So I just want to be very, very clear about that. The euro dollar, the pound yen, the pound dollar, and the dollar Swissy. We stepped on the gas hard on these trades. And these are going to return very, very well for us. Now, these three subsequent trades that I'm about to talk about, the dollar Canadian. The dollar Canadian, we did go long and we're up almost 1% on that trade so far. But this was a small, lower risk side play for us. Just really like the bottoming and the sign of strength. And again, getting great follow through today from the dollar. The euro Swissy. The euro Swissy, we took to the long side. Again, smaller side risk play. This one has actually moved almost 0.25% against us. So just not getting this one correct as far as the euro Swissy goes. But again, trade isn't invalidated and we'll just see. And the Aussie Kiwi though, oh, we've got fibs for days on this one. The Aussie Kiwi has been a successful trade for us. This was a low risk side play. I wanted to take this bounce up back to the hopefully I can make this make sense. And you guys know how I feel about fibs, but this is just a good demonstration of how fibs can work. Not because they're magical, but because they give you, in the absence of other things that you feel comfortable with based on the setup, decent targets and levels than just guessing. So this level is where I wanted price to come back to a retest of previous support term resistance off of this kind of overextension to the downside. And we'll see this with nice spot here, hopefully. Nice bottoming above zero, but just, seeing these daily dojis and looking for this bounce back up. And again, looking for the Aussie to have a little bit more strength here than the Kiwi. If the Kiwi is in free fall, the Aussie is like tipping slowly, whereas the pound is in free fall, right? And the dollar and the yen are moving the opposite direction. They are soaring to the upside. So anyways, if we look at the actual swing high to the current swing low, and we fib from there, a 382 retracement takes us back to this red line, which is exactly resistance turn support. And if we measure the local high, the last high to the current swing low, we see that beautiful, nice 618 pocket. That's the golden retracement, right? That 618 number that everybody likes to see. Back to that exact level. That's the good levels of confluence. That's good to see some fractalization of the market, if you will. And just a good opportunity, just a good example of how you can use these tools to improve your trading, not to kind of take the red pill and be like, oh, Fibonacci's are magical all in of themselves. So this trade's closed out. We hit the TP1. This was 100% at TP1. Take profit at 1.0902. And we see the current price is at 1.09133. So my recommendation, if you didn't set the TP, go ahead and close this one out or trail your stop from the TP. You're up just a little bit. But nice, almost 0.4% trade on that one. So 0.4%, which is a big move in Forex. It's good. Overall, what was it? Would have been 35 pips. Nice 35 pip trade overnight. Good stuff, guys. Good. Congratulations to the premium members and to everybody else who took that trade with us. So yeah, pretty excited about those big weekly turns in Forex. Striker Dragoon, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to the community. And I think it's been long enough. Let's do this. Let's do the YouTube thing, or the DLive thing. Going to distribute these rewards out to the loyal DLive followers. Brah, dropping ninja guineas on y'all. All right. that's kind of all I want to talk about today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's 1:15. There's certainly more we could do. Let's just roll over to the Q&A, answer you guys' questions, and do some chart requests because it's relatively boring day in the market today, I think, as far as crypto goes. So, and we've already covered Forex to the degree that I want to. So let's go over and see. All right, let's go over and look at our chart request. We covered Theta yesterday. Yorick saying, I'm not sure if we're started asking for things to look at, but we could do EGLD, Kusama, and or DOT. That would be cool. All right, so let's do. I don't have very many interesting I don't have very many interesting things to say about Kusama and or DOT. Here's what I do know. Kusama is not in and of itself valuable. It's valuable because anything that's going to be implemented on the concurrent network is going to be run on Kusama first. So Kusama is the Litecoin to Polkadot's Bitcoin. So it's not necessarily valuable in and of itself. It's a freaking testnet, right? And overall, I think that its value, therefore, is overblown. That being said, so just based on that, do I want to put money into it? No, not really. Polkadot, on the other hand, well, that's a pretty hot Ethereum killer. So let's look at Polkadot. Now, full disclosure, I have no position in Polkadot. I have not purchased Polkadot or Kusama. All right, so the first thing that I want to do here is I just want to take all indicators off and look at the chart. And I don't really want to look at this chart. Let's get over to ChartX. This is CoinTrader. This is Crypto Rank. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a slowdown here on ChartX for some reason, but that's okay. So we're going to look at the DOT. And also, okay, here we go. Oh, this is .x. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's a rug pull. All right, so here's DOT on Uniswap. And let's also pull it up on CoinTrader. DOT. D5 of Thrones, .x. Let's look at its value. Okay, here we go. All right. So we've had a pretty big pullback on DOT. And also, let me go ahead and get it over here. Polkadot. Yeah, that's not right. That is the wrong DOT here on CoinTrader. Shouldn't be though. There we go. Yeah, because they had that. They had the Polkadot split 1 to 100. I apologize. Lemon and ice for you and Alex FX trade. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, Billy. Squeaky Tadpole and Dark Rico were the lucky followers, getting big distributions over here on DLive. Mancunian, thank you so much for the 2 lemons and the 2 ice creams. Much love, my friend. Let's see here. So, listen, with regards to Polkadot, I think it's an interesting project. I think it's probably worth tossing money at it. And I don't want to be, I feel like I'm being like a little bit of an oddist here because I'm seeing, okay, this is all time. Okay, cool. Yeah, 435. So we have an all-time high price of $6.83 with the new Polkadot, meaning we're down about 36.1% according to Crypto Rank right here. Now, DOT is going to be on pretty much every major exchange. It is a freaking darling. I don't know if it's like an overnight pump and dump. I don't know if it's actually got the legs behind it. I know the developer behind it is pretty hot. He's got a lot of leverage. Maybe, there's going to be this, the kind of the scuttlebutt is that there's going to be this big Polkadot versus Ethereum battle. But let's be real here. Like, Ethereum has a lot going for it that Polkadot does not currently have, right? So let's just read what is Polkadot. It's a protocol. It's a Polkadot-based protocol, leverages parity technologies, open source substrate, which allows Polkadot-based chains and applications to communicate, transact, and transfer data without relying on any intermediary products or services. So does Ethereum. Polkadot does not provide, application functionality, but instead aims to serve as a relay chain hosting dynamic data structures called parallelized parallelism chains, or parachains that provide Polkadot's consensus, finality, and voting logic. It's the first project by the Web3 Foundation, a Swiss foundation founded to facilitate a fully functional and user-friendly decentralized web. So Web3 project, a lot of buzzwords in there, all essentially meant to assume, and again, please correct me where I go astray because I'm not the DeFi expert here. It's kind of designed to be an ETH killer, or whether it's going to run in concurrence with ETH, I don't know. But it is new. I don't know as much about it as I'd like to. The team seems legit. The community seems very passionate. And obviously, the money interests in cryptocurrency just swap this in. So this thing is probably going to do pretty well. I'm not going to lie. Polkadot's probably going to do very well. The only thing that concerns me, though, is it already has a $4 billion market capitalization. So how much room is there to grow? Is this thing really going to okay. Ethereum. $38 billion market capitalization. All right, so let's do some simple math. Okay. 12, 24, 36. It's about 3. It's about a 3x. That is a 3x potential. Or excuse me, I'm being retarded. 12x. I apologize. Yeah. So it's about a 12x potential, right, that we could get out of Polkadot just if it got as big as Ethereum. I don't think it's going to, which means the entire market needs to grow concurrently. All right. And we can see that if we look at dots, new dots, market capitalization. All right. Market capitalization was 3.7, down from almost 6 bill at launch, right? So, you can see that this market capitalization was created and pushed down relatively hard, and about 36%, right? Price follows market capitalization. So I think DOT's probably going to do okay, but I think just looking at it like a 3x, maybe a 5x, depending on where we buy in, right? Like from right now, I would say 12x max, 3 to 5x realistic, right? If you buy in now, which means you're probably going to be in drawdown. Again, the market's going to correct. So if the market corrects another 20 to 30 to 40%, which is very possible for these altcoins, particularly DeFi, then perhaps that number goes up to 20 or 30x, right? Which I think for something like DOT is probably most likely good, or makes it pretty attractive based on how much momentum it already has and how much people want to get into this thing. Like everybody's really like, oh my God, I didn't buy DOT. What am I? I'm like a retard. I should have bought DOT like a year ago, blah, blah, blah. So I haven't done as much research as I'd like into DOT, but I'll just say based on its momentum and how many people like it and how many people I know are just FOMOing into this and again asking for it, DOT's probably going to do well, man. DOT's probably going to do well. I'd like to do a little bit more research before I make wide sweeping predictions on this or something like that. And again, I don't have any money in DOT. I haven't traded it. I haven't touched it. So let's watch this. I think the entire market's going to pull back, so we don't need to rush in to buy any DOT or anything right now. But if it's on your radar, I think that you're probably not off your skis to be looking to pick some up at a cheaper price. What price? $3? Probably not a terrible idea. Let's see if I can't get some interesting data from Sentiment. Polkadot. No. Don't have any data. There's no holder distribution for DOT. This is sushi. And yeah, there's actually not a lot of data, at least that Santiment is going to be offering me here. So I think DOT's probably not going to be a bad performer. It's probably actually going to be quite a good performer, but at 437 with the market where it currently is, I think it's risky if you play the bounce right here, and I think you're limiting your downside. Another 20%, 30% to the downside be pretty attractive, I think. 0x167 smart contract. Who made the intro outro music? Well, credits to Ryan Little. The song's called West Coast for the like bling blong ba dingy 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 ding dong. As far as like the kind of techno or beat stuff, that's just stuff from my playlist that I've scraped together. It's all royalty-free music that I quite like. Big shout-outs to Maya Ligne, MAI space LIGNE, really crushing the game over there with good beats and not electronica, but you guys know what I'm saying. Good stuff, good beats. I'm so not hip. I just said electronica. Mr. Kobayashi, what's going on, my friend? He says DeFi, the best investment in crypto space. Well, it certainly has been for the last 6 months, really the last 2 years. All right, let's, what do we got next? Could I take a look at Wink, a little in-depth analysis from Ivan X? Yeah, sure, man. So I really liked Link. I said that a while ago, and I still do. Let's look at Wink on Binance. So if we go back, Wink was listed on Binance back in August of 2019. And let's go to charts.cointrader.pro to scope the market cap. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. About the same thing. All right, so Wink's not an old coin. So here we go, August 2019. This is what we can get from CoinMarketCap. So what do we list at? That's a 3. 6.3 million market capitalization, I do believe. Wink was a little bit bigger than that. 35 million dollar market capitalization. Let's see, about a third has been unlocked. Let's see what we got. All right, so Wink is a gaming platform for users to play, socialize, and stake across multiple blockchain ecosystems. So it's a TRC20 token or TRC10 token. It's running on the Tron blockchain. It's a gaming token. So it's not really like DeFi or anything. So it's not like really hot right now. But I did like the chart. And I think Tron's going to have its day. Let's see here. In 2019, dropped about 40%. 2020 so far, it's up about 25%. Not too bad. So hasn't done too much. So what do we, like Funfair? I mean, it's performing better than Funfair. So I would say I would probably compare it to Funfair, right? And this is number 196, which means it's doing better than Funfair. It's doing a lot better than Funfair. So again, we can kind of do the, all right, what are we going to compare Wink to? Like what's doing better than Wink that is a gaming platform that's running on another blockchain? I would say maybe the closest thing that we could do is like Theta, right? It's a little different. It's a gaming platform. It's not a gaming platform or a gambling platform, but Theta is live streaming and it's socialization, it's social network, social media type thing, which Wink is like broadly trying to do. So like, let's compare it to Theta, which is being a good performer. All right, so Theta is number 41. All right, so we've got a $405 million market capitalization compared to Wink. All right, so right there, you're looking at a potential 10x if Wink just gets as big as Theta. Keep in mind, Theta has its own chain, has its own reward token called T-Fuel, has a website, and is doing pretty well. Whereas Wink is a TRC20 token running on Tron. Doesn't mean that it can't do well. It just means that, you know, it's got to put in some work. Market cap Okay, so now let's go look at the chart. Actually, I like the data coming better here from CoinMarket. Yeah, still from August. So again, it's the same data. I'm just being sketchy or paranoid about it. All right, here's what I don't like. I want you to look at like this area, and then I want you to look at these two areas right here. You see these big wicks to the upside and all the downside that followed? What do we see here? Big wicks to the upside, and big sell side volume candles. Accumulation and low volume, breakout, and pretty big volume coming to the downside. I think this is just going to continue to turn over with the rest of the cryptocurrency market cap. And then, of course, we have some like rebuy opportunities down here as we get closer to like the $22 million market capitalization, which is like, it's a big swath. That's a 30% correction. But there's, I know that there's some things about Wink that I like. I don't know if I'm tapping into like insider information or things that my analysts have told me. But I've heard some good things. I know that I liked it when I looked at it. Alex can attest to that. I enjoyed looking at Wink. I liked the setup. I liked the chart. It's not massively overvalued here. If we look at price, I think market capitalization, or excuse me, just price here compared to the Tether dollar, looks like we've kind of stabilized here a little bit. We've got a nice sign of strength here on the weekly, and some good symmetrical consolidation. So I think that we can correct, 20-30% here on Wink, like just about everything else. But I'm not gonna lie, I like the look of Link. I think that there's potential here. Again, it's a 10x. It's a Tron token. I don't have a lot of exposure to Tron, so I think that if you don't have any allocation to a gaming or social media platform, Wink's not a bad bet. Just position size appropriately. Let's see. They did their IEO. Yeah, so you know what? Here's the other thing too. Let's go to sentiment. So let's see what the whales are doing. No, nothing. Sorry. Here it is. Sorry. Boom. Oh, well, that's... I don't know why. Okay, that's very, very helpful. Yeah, I'm sorry. Dev activity. It's kind of bottomed out, but it's not dead. Relatively stable area. Overall dev activity on Tron's roughly the same area. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't look at holder distribution, which is what I really kind of wanted to see what the whales were doing here with Wink. We could go on. I'm good with the Ether chain. I'm not going to go on here. I'm not as good as I'd like to with Tron, so we just won't even do that. So yeah, they did 15% of their allocation for the private sale, pre-sale, 5% to the public, overall 20% for sale. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really like it when they have a ton of this stuff locked up. Took BNB. Teams from China. See, they did their IEO on Binance 23 to 29, July 2019. Raised $6 million, so that's not too bad. All-time high ROI. It only went up 4.15x. Yeah, I think that I think if Wink puts in some stuff here, which I'm not sure what they're putting out in the pipeline, I think this thing has some potential. Like I said, 10x I think is not ridiculous. Wink stands to win big from the coronavirus. Maybe. And it's got the big market support. Most things that Binance gives the blessing to are going to do okay. I don't think that this thing is going to put in the 100x unless it really just knocks our socks off, which I don't think it's going to. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad, man. Doesn't look too bad. Now, breaking down raw technicals. I don't really like doing this. There's not a whole lot of data. This thing hasn't even gone through a cycle. So I have very little data here. And I can tell you that PTP is not going to be taking this trade right now. We are in a bullish trend per super trend, and we are going to be until we crack 876. 876 seems to be the invalidation point right there, which is about that 23% correction, 20 to 30% correction that I thought was not crazy to see. Yeah, this thing, let's see, this thing would have got us long here, and we would have taken profit. Well, we would have hit TPs here, here, and here, but yeah, we were told to get out of the trade on this pullback, right? So again, not the greatest, but again, we didn't have much of a trend. We got up into consolidation and kind of got distributed on, and we can see that raid right there. If we get continuation with Wink, it's going to be an outlier because I think broadly the market's going to correct a little bit more. Got a nice little double bottom bounce from support, but again, remember when we're buying support, we're kind of looking for a trade within the range, right? So where's that 50% retracement? Oh, we just hit it. 618 golden pocket. You guys want to push your luck up to 1250? That's where I would push my luck if I was trading this, if I had scooped the bottom out. ISIS spot. Yeah, even look at all the reversal indicators are saying that we are overextended to the upside here. And this does look like triple top, raid, consolidation. I think this is going to break. I think you're going to see a 20 to 30% correction on Wink. So I like it, but very similar to DOT, not at this price. Not at this price. And not super solid that I want to just like throw a ton of money at it. Thank you, Ivan X. Hopefully that helps. I appreciate it, man. Challenged investor, could Adam, KNC, and Misa Go 30x? Well, we went over Misa Go. I think Misa Go can 6x, right? Just based on the math of what we roughly compare it to, which was... Anybody? Well, we're looking at that coin, 6x, if it reaches the same market capitalization. Adam and KNC, we can just apply the same math. Kyber Network, I don't think Kyber Network's gonna 30x unless the entire DeFi space 30x's, which I don't think it will. I think we can get up to. I think we could see a 2 to 3x from here. Where are we at? About 8 billion TVL. I think we could get to like 30 billion TVL before we peak on this bull market, which means 3 to 3.5x max. Thoughts on QFS? I don't have any. I'm sorry. And to the point where I don't even have anything to say about it. Let me kind of scrum the analyst's mind after the show, and we'll see if I got some comments tomorrow. Thank you, Blockchain. I apologize, not to let you down. You're a good viewer, man, but I just don't got anything for you. S180XT chart request on Blockstack. Okay, this one I can do because I know a lot about Blockstack. Let's just go look at the chart as it exists on Binance and look at that. It's almost like because I like it, it just goes up. Just kidding, guys. So let's look at the weekly here. Take indicators off. All right, so Blockstack has had a nice performance, right? Again, remember that the IEO, Blockstack's ICO, started off at 30 cents if you were not a cool person. If you were a cool person, you got it for 12. If you were in early and you got into their first ICO, their first token sale, that was kind of canceled, and everybody's like, oh, Blockstack, they're going to rug pull. No, they fulfilled their claim and did the 12 cent ICO. So this is the price that I purchased at. I purchased Blockstack at 12 cents. I have not sold a shred of my Blockstack. Not a shred. I'm holding Blockstack really for the long run here, guys. So I'm at a 2x right now on Blockstack. Up here at 33, up here about 32. I was looking at about a 3x. A little bit higher, but about 3x. Which is, I understand the math is not quite right, but again, I also added to my position down around 9 cents as well. So, yeah, I like Blockstack. Just from market structure, this is a nice break, huge sign of strength, pullback, sign of support. Now, again, I think the Blockstack is not going to be anomalous like the rest of the market. I think that we can, again, correct another 20-30% and do some reaccumulation right in the 15 to 17 cent zone. If we undershoot it, I will gladly buy Blockstack back around 8 cents and even lower. Blockstack has a fantastic team, fantastic development. They've got the legal regulation, they've got the financial relationships, they just got a well-funded program, they've got a visionary leader. I really like Blockstack. Holding this one for the long term. And I don't want to cheerlead them too much, but they've got a lot of good things going on. And the price is performing very well. So I'm looking for good things out of Blockstack. Again, I think based on that, I would say roughly that, any price you buy Blockstack at, in my opinion, is a good price, because if you hold it for a long time, you're going to be rewarded. But if you're looking for something a little bit more strategic here, I would look for a 20-30% pullback, like I think the entire market's going to do. Now let's look at, again, not a whole lot of technicals here, very similar to what we said. But let's look again, and we're at a nice cool off period, right? We had a perfected 9 count and we decided to push up from that. We did get an imperfected 9 count, which flipped to a red 1, and now we're on a weekly 2 of 9. So again, potentially 4 to 6 weeks of pullback and correction here. So again, that 15 to 17 cent zone kind of landing nice and squirrely there, maybe even overshooting that to a degree, is quite possible here for Blockstack. On the daily though, we did have, where did we get to? We got to a 6 of 9, got our count interrupted, threw up a ton of bottom feeders, and we had a nice pump off that bottom there. ISIS spot got oversold, as did bottom feeder. CM Laguerre was throwing up those warning signs. We're overextended here. Do not short. And what do we push off the bottom here? 100% on Blockstack from peak to trough. So great trade on Blockstack. I think Blockstack was giving us a damn gift there. I wouldn't long this. I'm not going to lie. This looks like this is a lower high. This is a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I would look for Blockstack to correct down here back to about 14 to 12 cents. And we'll just kind of pick it up from there. I think 14 to 12 cents would be a decent price to make your first entry into Blockstack. I would not buy it. I wouldn't buy Blockstack right here if you were looking for something strategic. And finally, Rhino Trader, Loopring. We take a look at Loopring. Now, honestly, I think Loopring is going to blow up. I think Loopring is probably one of the best DeFi projects and is really well positioned here, man. Now, we've had this nice turnover, and we've already had a pretty huge correction on Loopring. I think we can push down another 20-30%. But again, this bounce that we might get for the next 2 to 4 days, it might be impressive. So I could see Loopring going back up to about 20 cents from about 17 cents. It'd be a nice retest. And then I probably expect to see Loopring come all the way down to about 14 cents. That's where I'd like to see Loopring come down to. Now, I hold Loopring. I don't have a big position in Loopring. I bought some Loopring on the way up. And I actually bought some Loopring up here around 18 cents. So I'm underwater on that, but overall my average entry is good. I think my average entry is somewhere closer to around 12 cents. So I think Loopring is going to come back to my entry point, and I'm going to buy some more. I think that Loopring is well positioned to continue to perform well and continue to do well. And what they want to do and what they're trying to do, I think they're going to be successful, or they have a good shot at doing it. And so, yeah, I quite like Loopring. I think we could buy here. Let's throw up ISIS spot on the daily. Well, we do. We don't have really enough data here on Binance. Let's. That's a darn shame. Loopring's been around for a lot longer than that. Remember, Loopring's been around since 2017 when they did their ICO. All right. Yeah, and look, I mean, listen, I don't want to compare Loopring's price potential to this market cycle, but I mean, look where we're at. Look at this massive period of accumulation, pushing up, breaking above this barrier. That was a barrier back in the beginning, and pulling back. Just a beautiful retest of resistance turn support. Beautiful. Now, I think, listen, just because we're getting a little bit of a reaction here doesn't mean we can't overshoot it, shake out weak hands. But I think Loopring is going to perform very well. I don't think that DeFi is over. I think we can 3x the TVL, 3x the market capitalization of DeFi. But we're going to have a 4 to 6 week pullback. All right. Just be prepared for that. So look for Loopring around 12 to 14 cents. I think is the better buy-in area for Loopring. But if you want to get a little aggressive now, like I said, we're at 17.7. I bought some at 18 cents. I'm comfortable with that. I'm not dumping. So yeah, I like Loopring right here. And again, on the daily, as far as what we have for Binance access with my indicators, let's see if we can't get, yeah, let's go over here on Bitfinex. Come on, Finexco. Weekly. All right, yeah, here we are. So let's look at Loopring. Perfected 9 coming off of an 8 on the weekly ISA spot sell signal on the current candle. So, you know, strategically, you want to wait for a pullback. All right, you want to wait for a pullback. 2 to 4 weeks of a pullback here. That's what the weekly is telling you. On the daily, you can see the pullback's already begun. We're on a 3 of 9, maybe a little bounce. Bottom feeder did show up here because of the momentum to the downside. Maybe a movement up to 19,000 sats. 1900 sats, excuse me. But certainly looking for that extended correction. You can see CM Laguerres are topping out. Multiple sell side signals from ISA spot. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying Loopring at this price unless you plan on holding it for a while. Like I said, 12 to 14 cents. Let this thing pull back. Okay. Woo. All right, let's see here. Philly from Manchester says Polkadot is cool branding for a fashion token. It is, but you should really check out Luxo. I think you'd really like that token, man. That's your fashion branding art token. Thank you, Manny. I quite like the intro music as well. Vets, they do pets too. All right, let's see here. So let me scroll up here. We'll do Q&A here for a few minutes. Dr. Cheese Weasel over on Twitch says, do I think the market is still on its way down at the moment? Yes. Over on Twitch, Soul Shinez says, I mentioned a DeFi correction possibility. What are my thoughts on Link in September, October? So very, very similar. I don't think you're going to get that 10x explosive growth out of Link. Link's already done that. Already has a damn near $5 billion market capitalization right now after a pullback, after a massive pullback. I don't see Link going from 5 billion to 50 billion. I just don't. You know, I see Link being a good kind of like steady as she goes investment, pushing forward, which means there's a lot better opportunities out there. Now, if you just want something slow and steady to put some money into, and you just want to see those, like if you're looking for 30% a year APY, then yeah, I think Link's probably going to be okay. Very similar to DOT and very similar to Ethereum and very similar to Bitcoin. But there's also this huge unknown about Link, which is I'm not clear that they're actually doing any of the damn things that they're saying they're doing, right? You know, all these oracles use CoinGecko's API price feed anyways. And as Ivan on Tech would say, well, go listen to Ivan on Tech when he talks about oracles. Like he's trying to say things without being blatant about it, right? And he's a programmer and I'm not. So he says what I understand, which is, you know, if you have an Oracle project, it doesn't matter. If you can deploy it on Ethereum, you can deploy it on EOS. If you can deploy it on EOS, you can deploy it on Polkadot. If you can deploy it on Polkadot, you can deploy it on Tron. If you can deploy it on Tron, it's not hard to move, which means that building the Oracle itself is not like hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's not that difficult if it's that easy to switch chains. And if they are, which they are, all using just an API price data feed, which is their main go-to. Now, I understand that oracles are designed to transmit more than just price data, right? Blockchain status, transaction congestion, you know, just network statuses, different inputs, external data to the chain, from off-chain to on-chain. I get that. But they're not really doing that right now. Like, they're just transmitting price data. If you look at all the partnerships and all the announcements the Link's putting out, that all these oracles are putting out, it's all, well, we're just partnered with KNC to give them price feed data. It's all price feed data. Where's that price feed data come from? It comes from CoinGecko. It comes from an API. I mean, that's like basic bitch programming right there. So I think that there's a good potential that a lot of this Oracle shit's snake oil. Now, I'm not sure. Certainly, the other things that they want to do are not snake oil, like transmitting the other types of data, but like getting all, ooh, look, Kyber Network has API price data. Okay, I can pull price data API up in like 15 minutes, and I don't even know JavaScript. All right, so Just saying, it's something to mention. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum are definitely going to the moon. So I think Link has a good potential to be a strong performer. I'm not expecting explosive growth out of it. And there's this huge known unknown, right? So position size appropriately. Thank you, York. York commenting on the Polkadot analysis, saying he was waiting for a pullback to the $3 to $380 range. So glad to hear I agree. Yep, I believe that. That's good. I believe that is correct. Philly, the weak links in Bitcoin are cannon fodder. I'm gravely concerned over Uniswap, no stop loss BS. What's interesting is, Alex and I were talking about this, and that actually, because there's no stop loss mechanism, positions on Uniswap might actually perform better during a black swan event or market crash than your trades on like Binance or Bittrex or any centralized exchange. The reason why is because you don't get liquidated, right? You don't get, there's no stop loss, right? So while that is terrifying because you can't limit your loss, often what we'll see is like if the market like 40% down, well, then it bounces back up 20%, right? So if you have that stop loss there, you're just taking the L. Binance is just eating your lunch. And but on Uniswap, for example, on decentralized exchanges, you'll be like, oh, I'm heartbroken. But then if you're down 40%, you're gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna hodl it now. You know what I mean? And crypto largely just goes up. So interesting thing to think about. Gameplay says, nice outfit. Thank you, man. You can buy it at the store. KrakenCryptocurrency.com/merch. Help us out. Lets me put summer dogs in the ramen that I feed the analysts. Do I think Bitcoin is a good buy around 9K? Should I buy like right now at 10K? So I think that any price you choose to buy Bitcoin at is a good price if you have a long-term horizon. I think that if you want to be very strategic and more aggressive, I think that Bitcoin has a good potential to correct down here to 9,000 and maybe a little bit below. S180XT, that's a good point. You brought up Engine. I should have compared Wink to Engine. Yeah. Jordan Amber says, I'm doing my college courses. Press next and end up here. Well, you're in the right place. Is everything a 64 million euro entity normally has by routine? I don't know what you mean by that, Philly. James Moore asks, has XRP already been discussed? Yes, short it to 0. S180XT says, thought Engine was for in-game purchases. I believe Engine is for like programming. Do I seem stressed? No, it's hot in here, man. It's hot in here. Do I need to pay for Santiment? You don't. They do give you a free trial, but ultimately, yes. And it's worth it. And sorry, James Moore, I see you here talking about XRP. No, I didn't talk about XRP today. We don't usually cover XRP. I mean, we do. I hold XRP. Highly dislike the company, but they're not... XRP is pretty... I hold XRP. It's not a bad investment. It's not a bad coin to hold. Steady as she goes. Not super exciting. And I don't see... XRP has done pretty well relatively recently and is holding its own pretty well. So I think XRP's probably got... I think XRP is probably going to surprise us over the next 6 months, but I don't think XRP is going to do any sort of 10, 20, 30, 40x. You have to look at the market capitalization, and people who think that XRP is going to like 100x because it is so cheap, I think are bad at math. No offense, no to you or any XRP holder, because XRP is already in the top 10. It has a massive market capitalization. So XRP is going to need to demonstrate value in excess of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which it's not. Like, even if XRP is adopted by all the banks in the world, that doesn't make the price of the token go up. It doesn't matter how many partnerships XRP announces. It doesn't matter how widespread XRP announces. Remember that the corporation, the company, is making profit, and they don't need the price of the token to go up to continue to do that. What XRP, what Ripple, R3 Labs and Cordova and Ripple, What the company is doing in its profit model has nothing to do with the token. Nothing. The value of the token. Ripple's profit model, R3 Labs and Cordova and Ripple, their profit model is instantiated if the token is a tenth of a penny or $10. So they don't have a financial incentive to push the price up, honestly, because they're already making money. So I don't think that XRP is going to massively valuate in price. It's a good liquid tradable asset. I hold a little bit of it. And yeah, it's going to move up relative to how the entire market capitalization moves up, unlike small cap coins, which have the potential to grow exponentially. You're welcome, Ivan X. Thank you so much, my friend. Here we go, says Peckham. Love you, man. I already answered that question. What is the crypto market cap exclusive of Bitcoin? I'll tell you. $119 billion. Dr. Cheese Weasel, any thoughts on the recent migration of Flexcoin to AMP? No, because I didn't know that happened. I hope that's a good thing because I have 50% of my Flexcoin position. Check out the video that I put out a couple Fridays ago. Reflections of a Professional Trader. 5 coins that I bought and held for 2020. Flexcoin was one. I did actually pretty good on that. But I still have 50% of my position. Yeah, Philly. Jude Nelson from Blockstacks. Very, very, very smart guy. Challenge investor, what Crow card do I hold? What are decent ones? You know, listen. So last night, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, guys, just be honest with you guys. You know, there's some things that, you know, the more advanced you get, you fall behind on simple stuff. So like last night, I was like paying bills and paying stuff, and I had never signed up for like Coinbase auto buy for crypto. Right? I don't really need to. I'm happy with my stack, but I was like, why not? Let's buy $200 worth of Bitcoin every month. Right? Make it twice a month. Right? Just why not, right? I believe in it. I'll put more money where my mouth is. Like just dollar cost average, like continually, and just put it on autopilot, right? I think that's probably the best thing that people can do. Like my friend Scott did that, and it's done well for him. He just put that auto buy on Ethereum, and he is happy. But I set that all up, and there's some coins on Coinbase that I like that I set up for DCA2, Algorand and Cello, by the way. And then I was sitting there in the staff voice last night talking to Jack, and he's like, I'm like, oh, like. He had mentioned that he upgraded his CRO card, and I haven't gotten one yet. So I have the app, right? And I was like, oh well, let me check this out. And I realized like, wow, it's a lot cheaper to do my my auto buys on the Crypto.com application. So I'm not doing that DCA stuff through Coinbase anymore for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I do that on CRO. Now, obviously, the Crypto.com app has a limited amount of what you can do for recurring purchases. And nothing else. I was really interested in recurring purchases. I think it's just a second. I'll pull it up so I'm not speaking out my booty. Chainlink, I know, is one. Password is kitty cat. Oh, should I said that? No, I'm just kidding. Accounts. Wait. Oh, and I just got a notification that they have canceled my recurring purchase. So great. Figure that out later. Let's do, what am I trying? Buy. Where's the account? No. Where's that button to get there? Oh, here we go. Recurring buy. Okay. Yeah. So I have it set up to purchase CRO, Ethereum, and BTC. And if you go to set up a recurring buy, you only have the options of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, CRO, and Band. And I'm not interested in buying Link or Band at these prices. I think they're going to be steady as she goes investments, and I'm looking for exponential growth. So yeah. But as far as the card, I'd never gotten one. And I only have, listen, don't make fun of me, but this is just real. I told you guys I made my first allocation. I only have, so I bought MCO, and then I did the early bird special, which gave me quite a bit of extra CRO, but I have like 3,500 CRO. Okay. So 3,500. So I want the purple jade card. That's the 10,000. So that's about a stack and a half, 1,500. And I think the market's going to correct. So I'm going to spend that 1,500, here in a few weeks when the market comes down, and it'll be like, 1,250, 1,100. It's going to get cheaper. And thank you, Jack, for that advice. And it was sage advice. But you get, hold on, make sure I'm not flashing any like weird details here. I don't need to show you my phone, but I have applied for the Ruby Steel. Yeah. It's the cheapo. There's just the baby beginner there. But yeah, I know Jack just recently, I think upgraded to the purple card, and I'm going to do that as well. But I'm going to see if I can't get a better price on the CRO. RK. Oh man, thank you. Why do I BTC dump alert? Why do I got to get to that like toward the end of the show? Yeah. So I think CRO is killing the game, man. I really underestimated them. I think that's good. I mean, that's like this doesn't look like dumping, guys. It does look like symmetrical consolidation, which could lead to more dumping. But again, I am like largely almost short. Hater, great. Good to see you in the chat. Any thoughts on Bitcoin Cash hard fork coming up? Fork of a fork? Bitcoin Cash is trash, man. Fuck that thing. It has no market advantage. You gotta have you just gotta have more going on. You know what I mean? It's not a 3-hour stream. Challenge Investor, I just saw your super chat. Sorry, man. Thank you so much for the $3, brother. And hopefully I answered that question well. I'll send you the golden. I love you, bro. Yeah, and then so other thing on Link, right? It's like they want to do more than that. They want to be like a marketplace for Oracle providers or whatever, right? Okay. Show me the money, bro. Swear to God, I saw Sergey at the strip club throwing $1 million bills out, just getting it, dude. Buy my bags. Do I hold YFV? I don't, man. I've never heard of it. That's basic, bitch, Cody. We need that WAP. Oh my God. Thank you, Brett. XDAI. XDAI is something that I'm interested in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like XDAI. I like chicken. Stop it, man. Don't hold back, Justin. York says, I think it has multiple uses, but the one that I find really cool with Engine is that you can forge the coins into game armor weapons items in the game that implement. Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. So you could hodl in the form of a sword. Dude, that's super cool, man. Spark token airdrop December 12th for XRP holders. Congratulations. You'll make $1,000 for hodling $30,000 into the ground, and now it's worth $12,000. I've worked in casinos before. You gotta let the rubes win once in a while, otherwise they stop playing. Dun, 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 dun. With the Crypto Caveman says, I feel weird. I have the same shirt on as Justin. I feel like a fanboy. What do I want for another t-shirt, man? Under 50 million. Bro, just go to the website and buy one, brother. Or hit me up if you want to do some work on the side. I'll send you a t-shirt. It's whatever. It's like, listen, I wish it's not like I have stacks of the t-shirts laying around. This is drop shipping, which means I have to buy these t-shirts. It's not like they're like, yo, Justin, you're cool. It's your logo. No, it's Spreadshirt. We send them the logo, and then they do all the printing and the screen and the printing and all. It's screen. What do you call that? Silk screen. So yeah, silk screen or whatever. Yeah. So it's if I just had t-shirts laying around, By the way, I didn't check the comments yesterday, but hopefully there's some rap comments in there because we are going to be giving away that WSOT shirt, and I'm going to get with the team today, and I think we're going to give away the glasses tomorrow. But I got to get I got to get out of here, guys. We're getting down here. So I just want to kind of get to the end of that. What app is that? That's the crypto.com app. I want the purple card too. How many paper Benjamins are we talking? Well, it cost me like $500 an MCO and then early bird special. So now I have like 3 times as many MCO as I need for the red card. And now to get the next one, I need 10,000. Justin, when cracking crypto coin? The height of the next bull market. I'll launch it at the top, bro. No, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have, we've talked, obviously it's an idea, right? But if, if we ever do anything, it has to have utility. And there's a platform that we're going to be launching for automated trading. So that kind of makes sense, like to unlock features and utilities and help support the community. But, we don't, very similar, this is why we focus on education and not like, oh, you need to like, drip feed our signals. We are very much like self-contained. Our entire staff is made up of profitable traders and profitable investors, and we're beholden to nobody. We don't have any corporate sponsors. We do what we do because we enjoy it. And so we don't need to do any sort of fundraise, So if we ever do something, it's got to have a utility. I feel very, very, very strongly about that. Have I heard of Pi? All right, I'm not gonna lie. This might get me in trouble, but so I interviewed Vincent from Pi Network, and I quite like the young gentleman. And from like what I hear about Pi, like it seems like they're trying to do cool things. But I had Pi on my phone, and I was mining Pi, and then I uninstalled it, right? And I still have that Pi. Maybe I'm sure it's still there tied to my phone number. Maybe I'll rethink it, and sometimes I'm a paranoid person and I overreact, but I was just like, listen, I have this thing on my phone and it's utilizing my CPU, and I'm not exactly sure what it does, and I can't buy it anywhere else, and I can't engage with the ecosystem. They're mining Monero. I know it, right? So sometimes I overreact and I get, and I know that. So, maybe I'm wrong, but I've taken it off my phone for right now. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't think it's crazy. I've got some friends, like almost all the guys like mine it, but I uninstalled it. So, and that was just like a few days ago. So like, don't like super quote me on that, right? Like let me think about it for a while. All right. Thank you, David Rice. All right. With that being said, guys, sorry. I know there were some questions and stuff that we didn't get the chance to get to, and I hope that I will be able to get to those tomorrow or in the Discord as time allows, but it is 2:08. I'm going to go grab some lunch and get with my team because we've got stuff that we need to do. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. I really appreciate the support. You guys did amazing today. Great questions, good feedback, good talking. Hopefully my editor does not hate me because I was a little tangential, but I was running a little behind today because I had that home inspection and whatnot this morning. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the chat down below. Comment section down below. That's not it. Chat is going to be dead here in a few minutes. So comment section down below. We are going to be giving away compliments of Bybit. Listen, yes, and my hands have touched it. This is a beautiful, listen, this t-shirt is awesome, okay? Bybit does not skimp. I mean, this is like this, and this shirt, if you go to our website, like this shirt's like expensive. It's like $20. Because they use like the premium stuff. You can get the, like $15 shirt and you can tell, right? This is like a $30, $40 shirt. This is nice fabric, all right? I'm not gonna lie. It's got that cool WSOT over there on the back. You can tell your friends like how you 20x your Bybit account. So what you need to do is we're doing the epic comment battles, rap battles of history. Shout out to Gunbout University Wally. So leave a rap lyric down there talking about WSOT or talking about trading or Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or literally anything. Just leave something down there. We'll select the top 5 best and we'll vote for them on stream, and the winner will get the t-shirt. It's worth it. You want it. No cost to you. I'll even pay for shipping. Other than that, Questions, comments, concerns, put them down there. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe because this content's important and you guys can help us undo the shadow ban. Power support, power to the people. Join us in the Discord. It's the place to go. And crackingcryptocurrency.com if you're interested in the products and services that we offer as a company and what we do as individuals. I'm going to flash the socials real quick. Bam. Whoop. Over there. Bam. Affiliate link coming your way. Bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com if you want to trade where we trade. Also Binance. Links in the description will be down below for anything you could possibly need in life. And I will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. No. Sorry. There's not going to be a show. There's not going to be a show tomorrow. I apologize. The team, we have some work that we need to do. We will be back Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll be in the Discord and very active for the next few days as well. So you guys be awesome. Trade safely. As always, do the best thing, do the right thing, and be excellent to one another. Cheers, guys. I'll see you on Thursday.